At the heart of every legend, there is truth. A few brave souls unite to save their worlds. We can be heroes in our own lives. Every one of us, if we only have the courage to try. You.
Oh! Sorry, I didn't see you there. I was getting so into the movie. I just love the Transformers. How they're able to turn from one thing into another, like how Optimus Prime can turn into that truck and Bumblebee can turn into the Camaro. And I also like how the Transformers are able to inspire the humans in the movies to take a stand in the fight between good and evil. Which makes me think it's a little bit like transformational leadership. Come along with me and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So what is transformational leadership? Peter Northouse said it best when he said that transformational leadership is when leaders use their power to inspire their followers to accomplish more than what they thought they could. This is usually done by using charismatic and visionary leadership, thinking towards the future. What can our followers accomplish, and how can I get them from point A to point B? So researchers have discovered 5 key characteristics that are associated with transformational leadership. Let's talk about them. The first one is idealized influence. Idealized influence basically means that the followers have pride for being associated with the leader. A lot of times that means that the leader has gone beyond their own best self-interests to work towards the betterment of the group, the betterment of their followers. The second characteristic is charisma. Charismatic leaders are outgoing, they're enthusiastic, they're willing to put on a show if it means that they're going to get the job done. People want to follow charismatic leaders because they're fun and they're inspirational, which kind of leads into the next characteristic of inspirational motivation. Transformational leaders know how to motivate their followers. They know how to set goals, be visionary, and help those followers accomplish the goals that they set as a group. They also know how to intellectually stimulate their followers, which means that basically they're making their brains think outside the box, work a little bit harder, challenging their brains. We all like a challenge, and we all get addicted to little puzzles that we can play. We want to be able to solve something, to accomplish something, to win something. And so transformational leaders are really good at instilling that kind of fire to accomplish intellectual stimulation in their followers. And the last characteristic is called individualized consideration. Individualized consideration means that the leaders really care about their followers. They ask them personal questions like, how are you doing? How is your day? They remember personal characteristics about them that they can use to connect and really build a professional relationship with them. So in using those 5 characteristics, anybody can be a transformational leader. Transformational leadership has a lot of strengths. The first one is that it's been widely researched. It's been proven to work successfully. The second strength that it has is that it has intuitive appeal, which basically means that it's attractive to people to want to copy or emulate. People want to be transformational leaders. They want to instill change in their followers to make a positive difference in their community. The third strength is that it treats leadership as a process as opposed to just a product. Transformational leadership really emphasizes the fact that you can go from point A to point B and tells you all the steps that you need to go in between, as opposed to just focusing on the end goal, the end product. The next strength of transformational leadership is that it can be used to augment or alter other leadership models. There's lots of leadership models out there, from trait leadership, skills leadership, situational leadership. transformational leadership can be used in addition to any of those models. So it's really versatile. And the last strength for transformational leadership is that it really places importance on the followers' needs, what their values are, what their morals are, what they need from the leader in order to accomplish the goals that they set together. Like all models of leadership, transformational leadership has some weaknesses. The first is that it lacks conceptual clarity, which basically means that some of the concepts aren't clear when you're teaching them to a person who wants to be a transformational leader or when you're transferring them down from a transformational leader to their followers. The second weakness is that sometimes it treats leadership as a personality trait, something that leaders are born with versus something that they can learn or be taught. The third weakness is that sometimes transformational leadership is viewed as elitist and anti-democratic. It centers around one leader having transformational power over their followers, which kind of leads into the next weakness, is that this leadership has the potential to be abused. Anytime that you have one individual that's in a position of power, they have to be really careful because great power comes with great responsibility. So you want to make sure that you really have the best interests of your followers in mind and that you're not abusing the leadership responsibility that's been placed on you. So let's look at some examples of some well-known transformational leaders. One of the first one is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was so powerful the way that he spoke, that he could inspire people to feel things, to want to make a difference in the world. Two of the quotes that I like best from him are that a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus, which just means that a leader doesn't look among their followers for the right answer. They help them come to the answer together, collaboratively. Another quote that he said was that love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy to a friend. And love, even though it's not necessarily one of those 6 characteristics that we listed at the beginning of this video, is definitely a powerful transformational tool. Another great transformational leader was Nelson Mandela. He once said, "A leader is like a shepherd. He stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go out ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they were being directed from behind." This quote really sums up what it means to be a transformational leader. Great transformational leaders inspire and motivate, helping their followers achieve a common goal. So, how can you use things like idealized influence, charisma, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration when using transformational leadership in your community? Well, the first thing is just being a good role model. It's nothing hard, setting a good example for those around you. You should also be leading and encouraging other people's hearts, making that emotional connection with them to inspire them to move beyond what they think they're capable of. Inspiring a shared vision is also important. Everybody working towards a common goal is going to make things so much easier. You also have to be able to enable others to act, thinking outside the box on how they can formulate solutions for real-world problems. And lastly, learn how to inspire others to challenge the process. Challenging the process doesn't mean that you have to go out on strike or send letters or anything like that. It's more about, like I said, finding those solutions for those real-world problems, looking around at the needs of your community, figuring out how you can be motivational and inspiring and encourage those that are working with you to also be motivational and inspiring to the people that they're working with. Transformational leadership isn't hard. All of us can do it. All of us have a transformational leader inside us. Alrighty guys, sadly we've come to the end, but if you have any burning questions, I would love to hear from you about how you can use transformational leadership in your community, what the characteristics of transformational leaders are, or even something way out of the box like, what happened to Sam Witwicky and the Transformers? Here's my sources. If you have any more questions, I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. Bye.